Good day, everyone. This is Psycho 4081 for the Hot Topics podcast. Thank you for all joining us, and we have our two co-hosts.
I am Chop
and Felonious Feather.
Thank you. So today's topic is going to be how important is intimacy in a relationship, or however you want to.
How important intimacy is in a relationship.
Always the ones that don't speak English is the ones that
you know what.
So yeah, we're going to talk about intimacy in relationships and how important it is, and we want to first start off with some of the trending topics. Obviously, for those who don't know, we lost O.J. Simpson today. Do you know O.J. Simpson?
1 minute silence for O.J. Simpson.
Do you know O.J. Simpson?
1 minute silence.
That means she doesn't.
1 minute silence. Brian.
We ain't doing 1 minute.
Cycle 4081. Listen.
We're not doing any.
What?
We're not doing any. So we lost O.J. Simpson.
1 minute silence.
We lost O.J. Simpson, and we also lost DJ Mr. C.
And in Nigeria, we lost somebody. We lost an
actor.
Yes, an actor.
To a boating accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
John Pope Jr.
That's his name?
Yes.
John Pope. Okay, so.
Pope Jr.
Okay, Mr. Pope Jr. He was a young guy, like 20-something years old?
No, not 20. Not maybe like 30s or 40.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay,
he could have been 20. He had 2 kids and a wife, so.
Okay,
you
so
can be 20 and have 2 kids and a wife.
No, in Nigeria.
Yeah, so we lost the our Nigerian actor, young guy, lost his life early. We lost DJ Mr. C. I believe he was in his 50s.
Whose DJ was he?
He used to be Big Daddy Kane's DJ.
Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah,
okay.
He also was a DJ on radio, and he goes way back to the early days of hip hop. So I was just waiting for the memes for that because he in the past he got caught with men.
Oh God.
So I'm waiting for those rumors to start swirling. But we have that, and then we have OJ. So we're gonna talk about OJ real quick. For those who don't know OJ. He was a football player.
Of course, I know.
You don't know. He was NFL football player, Hall of Famer.
Right. Like Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner. And, when I was younger, he was like one of the best football players of all time, So I guess a lot of people know him from TV, and we have a list of shows that I didn't know he was in. We talked about earlier, he was in Roots.
Right.
And you said that was back when he was in in Africa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
just to go over, his name was Orenthal James Simpson. Obviously, he became famous for the trial of the century, they called it, when he was accused of killing his ex-wife, Nicole, and Ron
friend.
Goldman, her friend Ron Goldman. And it was a, long drawn out trial, and he ended up being acquitted. And the famous term that came from that.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Absolutely. By famed lawyer, Johnny Cochran.
Mm-hmm.
So, but prior to that, he has actually been an accomplished actor.
I wouldn't say accomplished.
Oh.
I'd say he was in a lot of stuff.
I think that's for an actor. That's accomplished. He didn't win any awards.
Did he turn on captions?
Huh?
Did he turn on caption?
For? I don't know. Boo-doo-doo. No, I don't know. So we're doing live, and this is all new, so we're trying to work out the kinks, and I hope you guys can hear properly. I hope. But yeah, some of the things that you might have heard him in was it goes back to 1977.
77 was Roots.
1968.
Okay.
Because he left the NFL in '69. He played most of the time with the Buffalo Bills, but he had let's see some of the famous ones. We won't go over all of them, but it's like Dragnet. He had a one episode in that back in '68. Dragnet was a TV show. It was like a cop TV show.
Mm-hmm.
He was in, let's see, Here's Lucy, a TV series back in 1973.
Mm-hmm.
The Klansman.
I saw that. I read that, and I was like, "What was that?"
Yeah, that's 1974. A big movie, The Towering Inferno.
Yep.
Okay. I think Cassandra Crossing might have been a big one too, but I'm gonna talk about some of the ones that's kind of ironic, right? We have Detour to Terror. It was a TV movie, 1980. Cocaine and Blue Eyes.
Cocaine and Blue Eyes.
That was a TV movie back in 83.
Okay.
Obviously, you know all the Naked Gun movies.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in The Heat of the Night back in 1980.
The original?
The TV
or
series.
Okay.
TV series.
Okay.
CIA codename Alexa. Man, he had Adventures in Wonderland. That was the last TV series he was in. That was back in 1994. And I think the trial actually occurred in 95.
Okay.
So I guess he didn't get any.
Yeah, he probably
acting
lost his
gigs back
job
then.
after that.
Yeah. So we have that. And let's see. Oh, he did 2004. He played the jealous boyfriend in a movie called The Lemon Twist.
Okay.
That's ironic. And then he did a ADHD TV. I almost said ADHD.
HGTV?
No, this says ADHD TV.
It is like a
ADHD.
Yeah,
A
I don't know what
condition.
that is.
Yeah.
That's a condition.
Yeah. Well, it was a TV series. And
Oh, it was a TV series. I thought you was talking about a TV channel. And I was like, wait a minute, that's HGTV. That's a TV
yeah.
channel.
So it was a courtroom parody, and he had one episode in that, which I
Okay.
thought was kind of, I don't know if you ironic, but it was kind of, I think, tasteless.
After,
After what all
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
So, what do you guys think? I mean, just throw this out there. Do you think he actually did it?
yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm mixed on it. I think he knew something, or he had a part to play, at least, if he didn't do it. But because there was a lot of forces on the racist police officer who planted evidence,
Right.
On, so that kind of taints the whole thing. And
Yeah, we could go all night.
I always wanted to be a juror on there because I was in the military at the time, and I was thinking, hey man, if I got in here, this long trial, I'm getting paid for it too. Yeah, I could have handled that. So we're going to talk about. Well, are we going to talk about that? Or we just skip that. We're going to talk about double standards, and I just want to bring this up about OJ, and because that's going to be another episode. We've had different actors and actresses that got into trouble for certain things, and they, when you hear OJ, you see in all the news clippings or whatever, it's always OJ Simpson, was it murderer or OJ
domestic
Simpson?
violence.
It's always something along those lines, not all the things that he accomplished. But then you see somebody else that got into, and I'm gonna put it out there, Donald J. Trump, got all these sexual offense.
Absolutely.
And they don't say sexual offender Donald Trump, disgraced president, twice impeached president Donald Trump. No, they say presumptive presidential candidate Trump.
Right.
Right. That's the double standard I wanted to mention. So initially I was going to start some trouble. I was going to post a nice post about OJ Simpson on Facebook. This nice, just to see who's all the crabs that come out so I can make my point. But actually, I decided against it because
I'm glad.
Actually, I fell asleep. So
Things you do when you're old.
yeah, I didn't want to. I really wanted to. Oh, I'm sorry.
You really wanted to stir the pot, is what you wanted to do.
But I was asleep. So wait a minute, I'm gonna cross up here. All right. So, for you guys listening, and I see one viewer, this is a live on Facebook, but is a recorded podcast. So we'll still do some of the editing in there, and you can check it out at the end of the day if you want to hear it in its entirety. So I hope everything comes out well. So back to our general topic. You had anything to add on this before we move on to our general topic?
You said it all.
Okay. Thank you. That's the perfect response.
Oh, gee.
So we're going to talk about intimacy. And the first thing you want to know when you talk about any subject is, what is it?
Okay. So, Webster's defines the definition as familiarity. I knew I wasn't going to say that right. Something of personal or private nature. And there are types of intimacy: old friends, relationships, And they also include nearness, closeness, or belonging. So that's how they define
Okay,
intimacy.
So intimacy doesn't have to be in their definition. Obviously, they have multiple definitions, but
Right.
in this particular case, we're talking about the intimacy
A
between
man and a woman.
man and a woman or whomever,
Your partner.
your partner.
A
So
woman and a woman.
it could be a woman and a woman,
Right.
Man and a
Man and a
man.
It could
man.
be whatever intimacy,
Man and a man.
right? So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the is it important? So different categories. This is I thought this was kind of like an easy topic, but now when I started looking it up, I was like, man, there's a lot of things to talk about intimacy.
Right. It's not as easy as you think it
Yeah.
is. Because I know in your mind, Psycho, intimacy for you and sexuality is very close.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Like this.
Since you can't see him, he's crossing his fingers. It's like two peas in a pod.
No, but you know, I've had discussions about this, about intimacy before, and sex and intimacy are totally different.
Yes.
It is totally different.
Yes.
So intimacy can include like just hugging or having a nice romantic evening, the lights down, watching TV, or anything along the lines. Anything that's going to give you a feeling of closeness.
Right.
Right. So, and I think a lot of people who think of intimacy and sex together is mainly that you want that intimacy and the sex.
Or intimacy to lead to
Lead to
sex.
sex. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Oh, here it comes.
How would you describe? Now you could pass on this. We should have this should have been like drink champs. So if you had passed on a question, you had to take a drink.
Oh my gracious, we wouldn't have a show.
How would you? And this is for anybody who's listening. You know, put it in the chat box because we want to hear your response. How would you describe the current state of your relationship?
Oh, you know I'm not answering that. You know I'm not answering that.
So that one is for our.
I would
our
say
listener.
that I have been married for a lot of years.
A lot of years.
I would say that.
Okay. Well, we'll leave that to the callers. If whoever's listening, they can jump in there.
Am
But-
I the only one in a relationship here?
No.
Okay, so Felonious.
That's what my relationship is. It's just,
All right. So thinking back in your in reference to intimacy, thinking back in your past relationship, what attracted you? And I'm gonna put on you because you're married.
Okay.
What
so
attracted?
who's not married? What do you mean?
No,
She's
I'm
married.
talking.
Okay,
to her.
because you're married.
What attracted you to each other initially?
I think he was funny. For me, he was very funny.
Okay.
And that's something that's a plus. And he didn't smoke, and that's another plus. That's high up, like
Oh,
on my list of things. So yeah, that, and he was attractive, and I, people want to lie and say that they're not. I wasn't physically attracted to them at first. Yes, you were, or you wouldn't have looked over there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
First.
just stop with the lies, because that's what they are. It wasn't the physical attraction. It was just that our two souls met. No, you saw him, you thought he was cute, so you said you were going to start talking to him. Now and then, when something develops after that, that's a different story.
well, I'm glad you said that. That it was the visual thing at first,
Yeah.
because women always say, "Well, no, it ain't about the looks. It's about all this other stuff." And men were like, "Nah, she has a big old, whatever."
please.
That's how. They
Yeah,
do it.
but mostly, yeah, that's true. Because you want to see how attractive the person is first
Yeah.
before you initiate conversation.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, this person looks good. I don't want to see a raggedy person. And be like, the person might be intellectually sound, but the outward look would not even make you want to know more about the person. So
Right.
definitely judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
I think women want to act like they don't do that, but we do.
But then the only things we have to see, we can't see besides the face and the build.
Right.
How the person is built.
Right.
That's all we can see
right.
to be able to judge. But men have other things to see. Yeah.
Like?
Like
They probably
big
not
old
even looking at
titties.
the face. They probably don't even get to the face. They go straight
exactly like
neck
to the
down.
assets, and we can't see any assets. We can't see until.
To what? Gray
Well,
sweatpants?
you can see. Yeah, I was gonna say. I wasn't gonna say gray sweatpants, but I was gonna say, you can see if he's, athletically built or that kind of. You can see that kind of thing.
No, but that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying they can see physically. They can see the boobs. They can see the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot see the only thing they have. You just have to.
No, but I'm sure women like more than just a penis on a guy. You would think like, all right, he got
How come men don't like just just boobs? Men like boobs first and then ass.
No,
Yes, they do.
no,
Yes, they do.
no, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Are
me
we
tell you.
gonna?
Let me
Okay.
tell you.
Men first see the first thing they see is the boobs and the ass.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
It depends on if you're a boobs man or you're an ass man.
No, it depends on
depends on-
how you're dressed. So initially, a guy's going to look at things that they feel is attractive to him. So they might say, okay, she got a nice smile, or I like her eyes, or I like the way her hair is, or something along those lines. And then, you go down the line. Or you might have somebody who comes in and they're dressed in a certain way that the first thing you do notice is, the breasts and the ass and all of that type of stuff.
Men, for the record, are attracted to what they see. I don't care. The sleeves.
What's your
They
pronoun?
like boobs.
What's your pronoun?
They like boobs.
What's your pronoun?
They like ass.
What's your pronoun?
She, her,
All right. So I'm representing
or
the
whatever.
guys. So when we talk about intimacy, there's things about communication, sexuality, growth, connection, all that women stuff, future goals, expectations. The guys don't care about all that, but
Oh my God.
external influences, conflict resolution, whatever. But that's all a part of intimacy as well. And like I said, most guys don't care about that initially.
Okay.
They care about the physical
First.
and the attitude. Right.
But some guys, that's because they like what they like.
Right.
They can still take a dumb girl because of.
Yeah, but that's sometimes they like dumb girls because they're not going to harass you. A lot of I know a lot of guys that would, even back, I think when I was in the Navy, that we would have a grading system.
Oh, please, God, don't tell me.
Yeah, we did. We used to have a grading system, and I could tell you back then, like a Jessica Simpson would have ranked high up on the list. You know who Jessica Simpson is?
The actress?
Is she an actress?
I don't know what
She's a
she
singer. I don't know
is.
if she's
Singer?
She was on a TV show, but I guess she's a singer. But anyway,
Dumb as a box of weave.
yeah.
Hey.
But
My boo. I'm shouting out to my boo, 2020 Charles, because I'm like, what is it?
oh, that's a viewer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you for dropping in there. And if you have any questions you want to comment on, just throw it in the comment, and we'll get right to you. So, in the name of intimacy, we're gonna talk about communications.
Men always find it difficult to communicate.
You had a point going
Yeah,
there, I
until-
thought,
until-
but I don't know what
he tried to
happened.
puke.
he just got distracted.
All right, so this is part of intimacy too, and this is, I think, a lot of times this where guys fall short on because we communicate differently than women do.
So I wouldn't say that you were falling short. It's just different.
Well, in their eyes, they would say we
Okay.
fall short because you always hear that you don't know how to communicate your feelings, you don't know how to blah 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 blah. You don't. So, and is that it's not that we don't know how to communicate our feelings, we just communicate differently.
Okay.
And it's and one of the things I always like to say is that don't judge somebody based on what you like or how you are, because we're different. We're
I'm
two
guilty
different.
of that.
Yeah, men are from Mars and women are from crazy land.
Joker.
So, all right, how do you communicate your needs and desires to your partner?
You just have to tell them.
Straight out.
Yeah. Like, oh,
But
I don't.
sometimes it's not always that easy, though.
It's not, and you're
Mhm.
right. It's not. But
Yeah.
you will figure out, especially if you're gonna live with somebody, be with somebody a long time, and if that's your goal to be with them for a long time, you just could be like, oh, don't do that again.
Well, don't you think like the ego is kind of fragile sometimes? Like you have to say it in a certain way, or sometimes people
Yes,
don't
and
take,
I'm not good at that.
so it's like
Yes.
straight with no chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bad at that, and you do have to
So
temper.
can I say something? Like
Mhm.
for Africans, we like sex is like something like a taboo You know what I'm saying? It's not like a taboo. It's something you just don't really
It's not a
talk
subject
about.
you're going to talk about.
Yes, it's something you don't talk about. So it's like, so communicating for a female, telling somebody, oh, I want to have sex, is like a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even if it's your partner?
Well, yeah, because sometimes, like, I don't know how to be shy.
I've seen many Nigerian movies, and them women be like...
That's Nigerian movies. It's
like,
different.
They're like,
So are you really going to compare real women to what you see in the movies? And this is why we have problems communicating.
They be like, it's like...
See.
They were like, what is it?
Let me see.
At a funde.
Oh, no.
At a funde. I want sex. Oh. That's how they do in the movies.
We are not making fun of anyone out there, family.
I'm just saying that's how they do it in the movies.
That's you make it terrible.
That's not my Nigerian accent.
That's your worst Nigerian accent. We don't sound like that anyway.
So are you saying so?
But then because of the cultural norms and stuff, so it's kind of difficult to communicate how you feel, like how you exactly feel. And then sometimes because of it depends on the kind of relationship, the man is like so far above, like you cannot express yourself so much as a woman. So like the men can intimidate you kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
That too. And then sex, of course. That's the big one.
So if you can't communicate verbally, there's other ways of communications too. There's body language. There's exactly. There's a lot of things, you know. You can kind of entice somebody differently.
Like how? Yeah, take
Like
off
how?
your clothes.
Please don't. Please. Don't get them started, please.
Drop your drawers at the door. No, but there's a lot of things you could do. Like
what?
all right, so you might come in tonight. First thing you know, you come if you're working.
Say, I need you.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could do it more subtly. Like, you know, you come in, you know, the dinner's made, whatever. Forget dinner. I say, you know, you eat out. You come home, you're ready to go to bed. She jumps in the shower, comes out with some nice lingerie, and she done sprayed all the stuff on, and she's, you know, whatever. So a guy knows, for the most part, that, okay, well, she put on lingerie. Usually she wears the granny panties. Right?
With an ugly shirt.
Yeah. Or the long. So the lingerie means, oh yeah, she wanted, you know, that type of deal. So I guess that'll initiate. That's communication. But,
Right.
But
Nonverbal communication.
But to go a little bit further, how do you you know, initiate? What type of intimacy you want?
That's hard.
And it's hard.
That's very hard. It really
outside
is.
of saying, you know, and then sometimes people don't take I would say constructive criticism very well.
That's true. Sometimes men don't take constructive criticism
Mostly
very
men.
well.
Well,
women
I'm
too,
telling you, like a lot of
sometimes.
times, you know, men. One of the things that men always have to worry about, which women don't, is the performance.
Okay.
So you know, you have that in your head, like, oh, I have to perform at a certain level. So
As long as you don't come quickly.
well, even then, that's you know, that, and then are you doing certain things right, or are you going to do a whole bunch of different things? So you know that can weigh on a guy. Then you as the partner say, well, babe, I need you. I'm
so afraid of what he's going to say.
No, the guy, it was a comedian. He said this.
Okay.
He said, you know, and these women, they'll say, well, yeah, you know, can you do it deeper? He's like, what's wrong with you? You know, what do you think I had 3 inches in reserve? so he says, fellas, next time you know your girl starts saying that deeper stuff, you know, yell back at her. Tighter.
Oh my god,
that's terrible.
That is terrible.
But you know, we men in general have this thing where, you know, it could build in anxiety when you have to perform at a certain level, or you have to worry about, you know, are you doing things right?
I don't think women really care about that anyways.
They do.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, they do.
You mean like the thinking about what the performance is?
Yes.
Or
I don't think. Well, I don't know. Like thinking of, as long, that's what I'm saying. Like, what performance? Like, you want to keep going harder, or you want to keep? What kind of performance are you talking about?
Oh, for me, no. You get your,
No, I'm not talking
your
about
45 seconds.
I'm not talking about the old people.
45 seconds.
Okay, 45 seconds, man.
Don't be greedy. That's the problem. Y'all greedy.
Oh Oh my
we
gracious.
in the technology age anyway, so we try to do things more efficiently. So
quickly.
yeah, jump in, jump out, and turn on the
Jump in, jump out.
turn on
Okay.
Netflix. Nah, I'm joking, but
No, he said turn on Netflix.
So like, all right, for a guy, if we we call it the responsibility is on us when it comes to what we want. We can't say, well, we wish her to do X, Y, and Z. So for us, we would just do it. Like, say, if you wanted to do it a certain way, you would just, move her a certain way.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Or if you wanted to have intimacy as far as like setting the scene, you do it. You set it up. I'm gonna light some candles. I'm gonna, do the bubble bath. We're gonna put a movie on. We're not putting on that girly I'm a cry movie. We're gonna put in something that has some TNA, right?
For you.
For
Not necessarily for her.
Yeah, you want to make sure, you want to get her going too, and she ain't gonna get going off of no, what do you call it? That I'm like beaches.
I love that movie.
But we ain't watching beaches.
Yo, no, not before you get into
Yeah,
that.
we want to watch. What's that movie that where the guy kidnapped? Oh, anyway, 30 Shades of Grey, whatever it is.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey.
My favorite movie. By the way.
So you would put something like that in. I've never seen it, honestly.
Really?
You haven't seen the movie?
I have not.
Oh my
never seen it.
god!
Have you read the book?
No.
Oh, there's a book.
There are 3.
Oh really? Oh wow! Oh, it won't be that good. The movie was good.
The movies, the
And
books,
then there's another one.
the book's always better than the movies.
Oh, there's
too.
another
The
one.
book was
There's another one.
was better than the movie.
360. It was something 360. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the movie I'm talking about.
That where he
kept
kidnapped
her.
the girl. Oh my
Yeah,
god, that
so
was
you
that
would
was a
put
good
some-
movie too.
It's a
It's on Netflix.
Is it a foreign movie?
Yes, it is.
I
It's
think
not
it
American.
takes place in either Greece or
Something-
Italy.
Yes, it was.
One of
I
those.
think Greece.
Yes, but
and
he
360.
kidnaps her for
Can't remember. But that was
365 days.
365 days. That's the
Yeah.
whole movie. Wow,
So-
that was another.
He
kidnaps
kidnaps her.
movie.
He kidnaps her. Then they fall in love, whatever. But it had a lot of
It was another.
sex and
Was
you know.
another 50 Shades of Grey
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Greece language.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. So anyway, we would put something like that on, and then maybe some other things just to make it more romantic. Because in our head we was let's make it romantic, and she's gonna love it, and whatever. Get little drinky drink, right?
Are you giving her a roofie
Not a
colada?
roofie, not a roofie colada, but something like
Okay. I get it. Some wine, some candles.
fine wine,
I get it.
like
Mhm.
Was it Boone's Farm or
Family.
Arbor Mist?
Help me.
Whatever.
High quality.
That is not fine wine.
That's fine. Hey, look. So, but that's what we would do. So, and the thing is, we would have to control everything, and kind of like if you wanted her to do certain things, we would have to like guide her into doing certain things, or say, hey, babe, come closer, da 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 da, or kind of, work
Steer the
with-
boat.
Yeah, steer the boat. Thank you. That's a good term. So yeah, that's what we would do. Now on your end, it would be harder because a guy who likes control or is control minded, he's going to do all that type of stuff. You might say, you might be like, no, I don't want all that. Just give it to me. Give me that bunk, that sweet, that.
Oh,
But
okay, Rick James.
You might say something like that, and that's what you want.
Right.
And the guy's thinking, well, I'm trying to, romance her and, make it all like the movies and stuff like that. It's harder. The pressure's on us, and if you say, if the guy is that way, like he wants, do it rough, this and that, whatever. And, while they doing it, you sitting there on your phone.
Oh,
Are you done yet?
that's horrible.
So yeah, it's a lot of different things, dealing there, but how do you maintain intimacy this is a big one.
Yeah,
How
it
do you
is.
maintain intimacy in your relationship?
And, from somebody that's been married 100 years, it is very, very hard to do, especially when you get into your daily, everyday grind. You work, you come home, somebody's got to make dinner. We got to decide what we're going to eat for dinner. And, by the time you turn around, it's time to get up and start doing it all over again for the next day. And you're just like, ugh, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything but get in the bed.
Life happens.
Right.
And then you got to worry about too, and that's even on the guy's side, that you might be having a hard time at work. You might be run down, so anxiety's high. The family's bugging you about whatever.
Right.
Right. So, how would you do
It's
it?
by not being tired all the time.
Well, you may not be able to help it.
Right.
Yeah, but
right.
then make out time.
I think you do have to make time.
You have to force it.
Yeah, you have to not force it, but
we all come back from
block
work
out
so late
time
and stuff, and everybody's always tired half the time.
Right.
But so you just have to make out time, spice it up. Try and be there, be present. Not like, okay, just do your thing like a chore.
Okay,
silly.
See, and that's another thing too. Like, so I know with some like me, I don't. If I feel like it's a chore, it's not going to do anything for me. Like,
Well, how you gonna know it's a chore? Do you know women fake it all the time? Like,
no. I'm saying if I feel like it's a I'm saying if I feel like it's a chore, like I'm doing it just because I have to.
I have to, right?
Not because I'm inspired to do it, or I feel like
right.
I'm coming home, I'm tired, but I have to make that time. What do you do? So,
life happens.
and I've heard that some men like they have to be like in great shape, whatever, to be able to do that. Like sometimes maybe they're stressed mentally,
right,
and all of that. But then besides all that, I feel like everybody should just try and some people actually make out they do timetables.
Date
schedule.
nice,
Yeah,
like date.
schedule. Yes.
Oh, that is definitely feeling like work. Hey, babe, it's time to make the donuts. It's 2 a.m. This is the witching hour. This is how they 2 a.m. You get jarred, woken up, and because they.
No. When you come back from work, it's already on the schedule. It's like on the timetable.
Okay, so even
we'll
then,
paste it
on the refrigerator.
Yeah, but even then, that is
non-romantic and not intimate at all.
It's like, all right, 10
It's
o'clock.
like, well, make our time. Look at 10 to
10:45
seconds. 45 seconds.
Listen, I
10 to 10:01.
For me, if it was scheduled like that,
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, it was because I wouldn't be into it. So you would have to still do it in like a holistic way. Like, if it's 10 o'clock, maybe, set the scene, right? Set the scene and then, go into it.
It's not always time. You don't always have time to set the scene. Seriously.
Exactly.
You really don't always have time to set the scene. And sometimes you just want a quickie and just be like, I'm happy, you're happy, and let's just get it done.
To get some stress relief.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think intimacy too sometimes is different per couple, by a couple or by partner. But, if you're with someone long enough, they'll know. You could just look at them and be like,
It's time.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think to keep intimacy in a relationship, you have to, is a mindset. Like it's not even things that you need to do, like tasks or anything like that. You just have to have a mindset that, okay, I'm going to clear everything out, which is really hard.
Yep.
I'm going to clear all of the stress, the anxiety, and I'm going to focus on this and think about the good things, about that person or the good times you had and try to make things, interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about for a woman, you just send him like a picture of your like ass or your
That's
boob?
what I'm talking about. Exactly. No, but seriously.
Well, let me say, as a 60-year-old woman, I'm not for
Sending
sending pictures. I'm sorry. Things aren't where they used to be. So, yeah, maybe for younger people,
you cover
this
it up.
beautiful woman over here,
nobody
you can
has time
just
for- nobody
clip,
has time
clip,
for that.
clip.
Well, I think that's y'all's thing.
No,
to do.
men can also do something. You
I think that's a
you
generational.
just do like this.
Flex the muscles.
Yeah, like I'm coming for you tonight.
Yeah, y'all are crazy. Y'all are too funny.
All right. And so I think it just takes some time
And effort.
and you have to clear the slate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. You can't go into it. Everything is a move. You can't just force things and it's going to feel like work. You have to actually clear the slate however you can. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you can't. But and look at it and say, oh, this is our time, and put yourself in a bubble.
Yeah.
And maybe even schedule some things out. which is also kind of hard. But you can say, well, this is our time. And I learned this from my therapist. She was like, well, you know, if your anxiety is because you have these things that seems overwhelming, all these things on your plate, you know, schedule it out and just do a little bit at a time.
Okay.
You know, that way, you know, at least you're accomplishing something, and then in that big task that you have to do gets to a small task.
Yeah, it feels smaller.
Right. So
it feels smaller.
that was one of the things. Let's see. We're not going to ask that one. Have there been times when you felt a lack of intimacy? And I'm gonna think I could say that for everybody you have to.
Yeah.
That's normal.
That's hard.
So and how would you address it? That you would get back on the horse. You know, you would just reset.
Like, is that easy?
You would have
it's
to.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's, you know, you would have to. You know.
Yeah.
Say, babe, this is why you lay something out. Hey, put this on. Right.
So not all men think like that.
Right. Right.
Most men do.
No.
Most men do.
No.
What
you mean?
But what most men don't think that lingerie is sexy to have their woman in lingerie.
No, because you like lingerie.
Right.
Most
For
other
you,
people do.
Most guys, all the guys I know.
I do not see my husband going out buying a piece of lingerie and coming back and be like, put this on.
Well, see, but that's different. And that's part of the problem, too, because you whip people for so long, you overlook those things. And that's why things go south.
It's not all men, like some men.
No, I'm not saying, I'm going to say the majority of men.
No, not true.
How do you know?
No, because I know.
There.
She's
So
like,
there.
I know,
Period.
I know.
When the sailors came into port.
Whatever.
You know what?
I know. I just know because I know. So
okay,
it's not all men. It's not all men. It's not all men.
We didn't say all men. We said
it's not even majority
how do
of
you
men.
know?
Because I know. Because I'm a female. How many men do you know?
Thousands.
How many men do you know in the thousands is gonna, you know,
We
tell
talk,
you that
we
hey,
talk about stuff like that. We
Okay.
talk about stuff like that. We talk
Okay.
about all the good, the bad, and the ugly.
No,
Right.
you don't talk about I bought her this lingerie.
Yeah, we do.
But
Yeah,
that's
we
not
do.
true, anyways.
Well, men who's out there, if you hear this podcast, please let us know if you actually like lingerie and you would get it for your significant other.
Men don't even know. They don't even know your shoe size. They don't even know.
That's
they
not
don't-
true. That's
they
not
don't- they
true.
do?
My husband knows all of my sizes.
They don't know your
Yeah. My husband knows all of my sizes.
They don't know your shoe size. They don't know your bra size.
Yes, they do.
He probably doesn't know my bra size, but he buys almost all my clothes.
All of
so
us
he
are-
knows all of that.
We're even here now as friends. I know what you are 32B.
I hate you so much. Please stop talking to me.
You're 36 triple D.
70D.
But you're a size 6 shoe and you're a size
I'm not a size.
You a size-
I'm
what
not a
is it?
size. I'm not a size. What do you mean I'm a size 6
or
shoe?
what you have T's?
I
Is it
can't.
3T?
I can't. Just can't.
4T? I don't know. All right, but anyway.
But I know your size. I should know your size.
Everybody knows my size.
What's your size?
What is it? Go ahead.
What?
Let me think about
What
it.
size shoe do I wear?
I have no idea.
Yes, you know me for almost 20 years.
Oh, somebody said that men prefer if you don't even wear
Anything.
Underwear. But you know,
Charles.
they do. Same thing. Because it makes it easier. That's
Okay,
one.
so I hear what you're saying. So you mean just don't wear underwear to bed, or just don't wear underwear with you? Like if she come into work and doesn't have any underwear on, that's going to be a problem.
No, I'm talking about wearing underwear
Like
when
at
it comes
home.
at home. When it
At
comes
home.
Okay,
So like,
okay.
all right, so like you come home, you unwind, you throw your briefcase on the couch or whatever. You go upstairs. Oh, I know what women do. The first thing they do is take the bra off
And the shoes.
and the shoes. Okay, and you go upstairs and change. Just put on the long t-shirt. That's it. And some slippers.
Maybe for old men.
No, for any man.
Well, see, the issue with that is the children are home, and she ain't going to be flopping around braless with the kids home.
Of course.
So yeah, that.
There's a difference when you have kids and when you're by yourself.
Right.
Or when they're out
Right.
of the house. What you can do.
Right.
And while they're home.
Okay, so let's get more direct. All right. How do you and your partner navigate differences in sexual desires or preferences?
Oh, somebody says you look like a size 12 shoe size guy.
Nobody
Size
didn't.
12. For real, see?
Okay, yes, I am a size 12. Thank you, whoever that might be.
That's Charles.
I am a size 12.
Right.
Yeah. That's a guy?
Yeah, it's a guy.
Yeah, that's
It's my
because,
friend.
guys are smarter than women, generally speaking. So he.
Oh,
Duh. But I'm smarter than you, so it doesn't matter.
Whatever, Patrick.
Pinky.
y'all know that there is not a podcast that goes by that y'all don't call each other Patrick and Pinky. And I'm kind of glad I'm out of that rotation. I really am.
Okay, Tinkerbell.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew he was gonna find a name.
So, all right,
Hence
let's say,
Lamb Chop.
let's say this: you have your significant other, and you guys like different things. And
Right.
this kind of almost kind of stupid because you would think you got past that before you became significant others. But how
Oh,
do you,
a lot of people don't get past differences before they become.
or things change? They
Right.
discover more things.
Right.
So, all right, let's say your significant other likes this and you like that. How do you get past that?
So it's not everybody. Sometimes it's not everybody that we learn to balance it. That's the point.
Yeah.
You learn to balance it. Like,
How?
okay, if it's not something that is so important to me.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get she's forcing me to give her an example.
Yeah, give me an example.
No.
If it's not something that's so important to me,
Let's say
I'll let it slide.
let's say he likes bondage,
Oh, are you talking about sexual preferences?
sexual preferences.
Oh, okay.
So let's say he likes bondage, and you like
I like missionary.
golden showers.
No,
Oh,
hell
all
no.
right,
No
R.
one-
Kelly, come on
You're so
now.
disgusting.
all right. So
And if you're out there and you like these
Nobody likes
things,
golden showers.
we're not making fun of you.
all right. So you.
Well, some people. Well, that's your preference,
Right,
Nobody,
right.
nobody's
I
saying
don't
anything.
Right, so
judge.
but again,
No
again, so
judgments.
let's say again your sexual preference is like say he likes bondage. You like to be the dominatrix. That
That's
means you
kind
like
of the same. That's kind of
the same.
Well,
No,
it's not.
different.
It's not.
Like the bond, like
It's
he
not.
wants to tie you up,
Right.
gag you.
Right.
Dominatrix is beating somebody.
That's when the female
Is in the
Is in
control.
control with the whip and whatever. And
Or just in control
Yeah.
in general. She doesn't necessarily have to whip him.
how do you do that? How would you navigate that? How would you get past that?
Well, they're almost the same thing. So,
It's not. It's totally different.
okay, well, bondage, like, oh, we'll do that. You do bondage one day and do dominatrix
Right,
the
right.
other day.
But
so.
yeah, okay. I guess
Yeah, you have to.
But,
Yeah.
Right. You have to like. I'll be willing to try it, but you know,
As long as I'm not going to die.
he's also got to be
the
willing
only
to
thing is,
try.
as long as I'm not going to die.
Okay,
That's
so-
the only. That's the
So
only
you would
common.
try. You would for your significant other. You would try whatever, as long as it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, as long as I don't die.
Die. So, but it can hurt you.
No, like die. That's
said
close to
die.
die. That's the same thing.
No, I said hurt you.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's
Death.
not the same because people like hurt.
Right.
Some people do
Not-
get
not
into
me,
that.
not
Right.
me, not me.
Right. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Right.
So what if? All right. Let's say if you have something that this person likes that's the only thing that can get them excited.
To the end of the race.
Yes. And then you totally are disgusted by it. Whatever.
Oh my god.
Then
Yikes.
how
I
do
can
you?
imagine. I know.
But
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that's hard because how are y'all?
no, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? As long as it's not something that has to be like. I don't even
There's a lot of stuff out there.
know. Like what? Give me an example.
No.
I just-
No. No.
just said
Don't.
golden
Do not.
showers.
Do not give him.
Golden showers.
Yeah. You know what that is?
Yeah, it's not like peeing in somebody's mouth.
Mhm.
No.
Not
Being
necessarily just on
my
them.
body.
Yeah.
Is he mad?
So,
But what he's saying is that he can't complete the race
Without
unless he
doing-
does that.
Right.
No.
And you're just like,
Not
oh my
me.
God,
No,
that yeah.
There's a limit for everything.
Yeah.
Not like that one. Not like that one.
or I guess we're gonna have to check this one as a explicit.
Yes, please.
So, So, but they have a thing called bukkake. They got a thing called
What's bukkake?
bukkake is if like say a woman wants like say multiple men, and they all ejaculate on her face.
Oh my god. Oh, I've heard that sperm it prevents you from having pimples and stuff. It makes you prettier. You gonna try it?
No. No, I'm not.
Like, you look so youthful. Lamb Chop.
Don't even try it.
But there's a lot of stuff out there.
No,
So-
anything that is disgusting. I get irritated so easily, so I would probably not be able to do whatever.
So that could be a
disgusting.
deal breaker, like meaning like
Yeah.
we're not meeting here. So
Well, the point is, I would know that before I got married in the first place. So
Yes.
well,
Yes.
Unless
like we
he
said,
hides.
you
Like he pulled it out at
you discover
after
certain-
you got married.
Yeah.
yeah, and I've heard some stories about maybe men. Sometimes I read one time on the blog that a man did not let his wife breastfeed because he likes breast milk, and then he kept latching on the boobs and taking the milk.
That milk's nasty.
It smells. so weird.
Don't ask him how he knows. We don't want to know how you know.
Well, he has kids, so he's probably tasted it before.
Don't let him off the hook.
So
No.
like, ew. So that those kind of so that's and
But-
after it's not something you already foresaw.
Right, you
know what
wouldn't
I'm
know,
saying?
right.
It's something that
But it can be a deal breaker where you say, well, we're not meeting here. This is not our.
Yeah.
On this, we're not on the same.
We can't compromise on
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
so-
So there, yeah.
Okay.
There are
Well,
some
so
things that
mostly,
could be deal
hopefully
breakers.
You'll be able to realize this before you
Right.
tie the knot.
Right.
You know.
Okay. So now we talked about that. The title of it was, how important is intimacy? And we talked intimacy was talking about separate from sex.
Right.
So, what role does sexual intimacy specifically, play in your relationship? Like, does it cement your relationship, or does it, keep it going, or it doesn't matter?
Well, sex is always important in a relationship. For me, I think it is important because it makes there's this kind of bond you have. You can without it, it's okay, but then the sexual part makes you, I think, more attracted as time goes on. If there's nothing else but that sexual connection,
Emotionally attached.
yeah, attached, yeah, it makes
Okay.
you. If there's nothing else, like you're old and saggy and all of that, you have kids and everything, but then there's still sex. It makes this emotional connection between both of you.
I think maybe from a woman's standpoint, I could see that, and I would say that. But from a man's standpoint, I think that doesn't cut it when it comes to that. You want to, if you have sex, a lot of times, it depends on what type of sex you have. First of all,
Okay.
If your mind, your state of mind is there, like you're saying, oh, I love this person, I want to show the love and all this type of stuff, then it's gonna transfer into your actions or whatever. But generally, just having sex and saying, okay, yeah, because guys can have sex with anybody and don't even have to like them. Yeah, I mean that's the truth, and I think most people know that.
Okay.
So, for a female woman, I think is more important to the relationship than for a guy. Would you agree?
I guess. If you know men, if that's what you're saying, if you know men, what was the question?
What role does sexual
So,
intimacy
play?
play?
It plays an important role. I think
Yeah.
it does play an important role in.
So you say it is important, like say a scale of 1 to 10. I know we talked about this before. but
Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, it depends. Well, I'll start with it depends because if it was there before, and then if things faded out, you can still. If it was never there,
Then you just screwed.
yes, you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying. But
Yep.
if it was there before, it will still help you hold things together.
Right.
Okay.
Unlike if it was never there.
Okay. All right. I'll buy that. Maybe.
Whatever.
Okay, so what is your answer to that question?
I don't think it plays that important of a role, to be honest. Because I always look at, and maybe because of my age too, but I always look at, in the long run, certain things are going to fade. And we talked about that before, and that's going to fade. So you have to have something about that person, the personality, the things that they do, that's going to, keep you latching on to the person.
And I think that's a part of intimacy too.
Well, yeah.
that closeness.
Yes,
that you're gonna have
the intimacy part. But we're talking
right.
about the
Sexual part,
intimacy. That's
right.
and you can have sexual intimacy, but I have intercourse too. Let's throw that out there too. You understand that part?
mental.
No, you can have like let's say sexual intimacy doesn't always have to be the full Monty. It could
So
be
you're talking about just hugging and rubbing,
yeah,
holding
it could be
hands.
foreplay,
Okay.
all that type of stuff. That's that's still a form of sexual intimacy,
Okay.
right? And I think that part would be important because it shows, caring, feeling,
Okay.
versus, face down, ass up.
Stop. I can't believe it. Oh. I can't even.
So, I mean, and that's good sometimes too, I guess, from what I heard.
Right, because it's not always going. What you mean? What you heard? Don't even try it. Don't,
Coming
you
from
thought he
the
was going to
experts.
slide that right past me, because it's not always. You don't always have time for that. I'm going to run a bath. I'm going to light candles. I'm going to have one. Like, you don't always have time for that, but you still want to have, some kind of sexual relationships, and you don't always have time for all of the romantic things.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is just. The kids asleep. Come on. We had a lot of those. The kids asleep. Come on.
And then you hear one sound, then you're like, oh,
Right.
somebody's coming in.
Or you just, like you leave the house and, you go to a hotel bathroom. Oh, my God. Or an elevator.
Not everybody's
No,
as adventurous
no.
as you
I'm
are.
saying, but that's
No.
cute. Hey, look. So, intimacy. They mentioned growth and connection. So as time goes by, people change,
Yes.
right? And this is one of the important things that people got to realize. Sometimes as time goes by, you change. You grow at a different pace or in a different direction. We can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes your expectations of what you want change.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that said, how do you support each other without falling apart or making it explode with that individual growth?
Right. Well, first you have to recognize that there's change.
Okay.
Because if you don't recognize that there's change, and there's not anything that you can do about it. And hopefully you guys are at a space where you can say, I see that you want something different than what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's try to make this happen together.
Okay.
And that, you have to make that decision in a relationship. Like, I thought by now I would be A, B, C, and D. And if you're not there, how do I help you get there?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe this is not a journey I want to take.
Okay.
So
that's an out.
That is an out.
Okay.
That is an out. Or do you want to stay with somebody and y'all not moving in the same direction?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely
Okay.
not. Absolutely not. It's funny because if you're not moving in the right, I don't think you can be together. Because if you're moving at a slower pace or a different pace or in a different direction, all that's literally, like, you think of it in terms of a visual thing, you're literally
pulling apart. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that the inevitable thing is that you will, go your separate ways.
Right.
And
Right.
I think when talk about support, I think you have to just recognize it, like you said, which I think is the hardest thing, is recognizing all these things.
Mm-hmm.
But, get it in your mind and say, listen, this is not working. And I see I'm looking forward to this. You're looking forward to that. I want to do this now, and you're still trying to do this. However it goes.
That looks so easy on paper. That looks so easy to
It
see.
does.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not easy.
definitely not easy.
Yeah, definitely
But-
not easy.
But that's something that you'll be forced to do.
Right.
Right. And I guess if you don't deal with it that way, that's when the craziness happens.
Mm-hmm.
Curse words start
Or
flying.
sometimes some people assume that you should know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
they just
do.
assume that.
Yes.
Assume.
He knows what you're
gonna
saying.
slap
Just stop it. Just stop it.
Assume that you should know. You should know
Right.
those things. Like, you
Right.
should know that, things
Right.
are different. You should know these things. You should know
Yeah.
how to do this. But communication, that's key. That's the main thing. Sometimes we don't know how to communicate. Sometimes we're shy. Sometimes we don't even feel like there's much to talk about. You should know these things by now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And I guess that's a fault that we have, because we shouldn't assume, even though we think it's, we think they should know. I guess that's where the counseling comes in too, right? Because they'll pull all that out. Hey, listen, anybody out there who is hesitant to getting counseling, you have nothing to lose. everything to gain. And I can say for one, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know, somebody tell me what I'm gonna do. They ain't even married. They ain't even, how you gonna tell me? They don't, so if it's worth it, I guess you should explore it. And like,
what do you mean, marriage counseling or just counseling in general?
Counseling in general.
Yeah.
Marriage counseling. Even if you're not married and you're in a relationship, go to couples counseling. And especially if you plan on getting married, definitely do this first.
Like having somebody else mediate for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is so important, because they'll bring out the things that you don't know about until it comes like kids. That's you're man and woman, you're going to that next phase of your life, and you never really talked about having kids, but you didn't talk about what school they want to go to, and how many
kids you want to have.
Exactly. So a lot of those things that they'll pull those things out, and it may determine whether you guys are going to be together.
Right.
If I say I want my kids to play sports, and she says, well, no, sports are so dangerous. I don't that could be a problem for some people.
Yep.
Right. So definitely get the counseling. It's very important. One of the things about intimacy, we were talking about it, but I think you mentioned it, Felonious, you mentioned it, about time, right? Prioritizing time. That I think is really difficult, especially if you're bullheaded.
What do you mean?
Like, you have a schedule. Let's say you have these hobbies on the side, and you whatever. So you want to do all these things that you have your heart desires on, and you love it. Matter of fact, it might be a part-time job bringing in money. Well, the other partner might say, hey, you know what? Maybe you should scale that back, or maybe you should not do that as much, because I want to do these things.
Right.
So you have to really look at that and say, well, yeah, you know what? This is important to me. I need this money. I need this to keep my sanity.
Right.
So somebody's going to have to give. So is it going to be the person that says, well, I need you to do this and I need more time with whatever? Or do you support the person in their stuff? Or, you have to have a balance.
Yep.
And I think making that balance is real hard too.
It's very hard.
Relationships are hard. That's what you should call
Relationships are hard. Yes, they are. But in the end, they are worth it. I feel like they are very worth it. I think you want to, have somebody in your life. I think you want to have someone that you can have inside jokes with and laugh and talk and do all of those things with. So I think that's important.
And Lord, you don't want to get to the point where you can't even do that, because
that's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad. You're
now
right.
Coming home feels like. I knew guys that had, matter of fact, going back, me and one of my good buddies, we used to talk after work hours, and it's like you come to realize that you really didn't want to go home. Because it was some BS that you're gonna have to come
home was a level of stress.
Yeah, and that's my thing is this, and I'm sure for guys and gals is that your home should be your safe place, your place where you can just unwind everything. Unpack everything and just be surrounded with just whatever
peace.
And a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah. Well, I have to honestly say it took me a while to figure out that my husband is the kind of person that you can't, as soon as he gets home from work, start with, did you pick up the bread? The kids are doing this. This is happening. You got to do this. I learned that he needed that half hour or hour worth of time to kind of decompress. And he's got, his job is not fun. He had to decompress, change his clothes, maybe watch, some sports, and then get into communicating with what's going on and, what's going on in the house. So you can't just, jump a person when they come in. But, I had to get all this stuff out. I had to tell you all of these things were happening, blah, 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 blah. But, you after a while, you learn,
Same with women. When they come out, I could figure out how they would feel. As soon as they get in the door, and we used to do this to my mom, Mom. So they get to the door. Mom, she did this. And
and I got this project that's due, and I got homework, and I got
goodness.
yeah. So you want your home to be the place that you decompress.
Shout out to the moms out there.
Yes, thank you.
Because we don't even realize this, until you get older, that
Mm-hmm.
you work and you have all these things you have to do and you're dealing with, and first thing you do, you come home to some ungrateful kids.
Yes.
Mommy, I need this. Mommy, why didn't you remember this?
Yep.
Did
you pick up this? Yes.
Oh, mom, and then you got the kids that be like, you don't never do.
I hate this place. Why? We weren't allowed to say that. We could not say it. Yeah, we weren't allowed to say that. But you're right. You're absolutely right. And especially a single mother, I have no idea how my mother had held it together. I really, really don't. And it's me and my husband raised our 2 kids, and it was hard, and I have no idea.
Yeah, I was definitely speaking about the single moms, because I'm not saying that those are married don't go through that, but at some point the dad has to say, take the kids somewhere.
Right.
I think I would hope that I did that, because I spent the time with I enjoyed being with my kids, playing, doing whatever. So I think you have to have that.
Yes.
Mom comes home, help out, have some dinner if you can cook. So don't be wasting food. But take care of the kids. Or even just order takeout.
Right. Yeah.
Future goals and expectations, does that matter in intimacy?
Yes, absolutely it does.
How so?
Well, like we were saying, you want to make sure everybody's going, all the trains are going in the same direction. So you can't be planning a future without the other person. Let me say this, like my husband, we went on a European vacation and he fell in love with Spain. And he's just like, we're moving to Spain. And I was just like, we doing what? We're moving to Spain. When I retire, we moving to Spain. So, initially I'm just like, he has lost his mind. I am not moving to Spain.
Are you open to it?
I'm starting slowly but surely to come around to it. And this is what I said to him, and I still feel this way. Let's do an Airbnb. We could stay for a couple of weeks at a time, and decide if that's what you really want to do. Because to just jump in it wholeheartedly, I think it's a little hard. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do.
If it's during retirement though, you have that option of splitting the time. Like I'm gonna do 6 months here.
Right.
So,
right.
Well, let me take that back. Visas may have requirements that you only stay with a certain
amount of time. Okay.
So you might have to leave and come back.
All of that to say, if I'm not willing to compromise and be on the same page with him, then how are we gonna have any intimacy with him staying in? Like, you go on this page for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna stay here. It's craft season.
Right.
So you have to compromise. You have to be supportive of your mate.
He goes off to Spain while you're in the craft thing. Then he's drinking that red Spanish wine, which I love. That warm weather, and it's actually pretty cheap there too compared to here.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand you have to have all that, and you don't. This is another thing too when it talks of intimacy. It's all in the head. Is where your headspace is. So if you make a decision based on regret, is your head going to be? Are you going to be in that headspace where you want to even give or really give them the feeling of being intimate?
Right. Yeah.
So that's another thing. I didn't think about that until just now. Like, what if I was forced to go to live in Mississippi?
Ooh.
You look like a Mississippian.
No offense to
anybody in Mississippi.
There,
that's right. That's right.
No offense. Mississippian.
A Mississippian? Well, hey, look, listen. But I just use Mississippi because my thoughts about Mississippi is hot, humid,
uncomfortable for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And overseers.
No, I feel that way about Florida right now.
No
disrespect to anybody in Florida, but I feel that way about them right now.
Yeah, I think this country's going backwards. So we could put a flag on a lot of states.
Yeah. So you have to work at your intimacy. I think work at being connected with your partner or your mate. Everything requires some effort.
Okay, so when you was talking about letting the real life happen. So you think you're gonna have this. You honeymooners out there, newlyweds.
Don't bust that bubble.
Listen, life happens. If you're thinking about getting married because everything is golden right now, life happens and you have to expect it. Life is going to happen. You're going to have the work. You're going to have the kids. You're going to have the unexpected things.
Not working.
Yeah.
Laid off.
Things you did not plan.
Yeah, I got laid off twice. So yeah. Yep.
Those things happen,
Yep.
and then your mate may not be in that headspace to even want to be intimate, or even show you intimacy.
Right.
Work is,
medical
I think,
problems.
Medical problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Perfect example.
Yep. Aging in general.
Issues with your physical environment, like house stuff comes up. You got issues with the neighbors. A lot of this stuff happens, and that will cause turmoil in your relationship.
Yes.
So what do you do about it?
Well, right now I am. It's difficult. It is difficult. That's all I can say. It is difficult, and
First
you
of
just
all,
got to
I'll
figure
say
it out.
Marry your friend. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Marry your friend. That's the important part. So good, bad. This person is my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
This person got
Right.
me. So that's the
Right.
very important part. Marrying your friend. If you marry your friend, then you'll be able to go through life challenges and everything together.
Right.
So don't go to the relationship for looks, for whatever. It's friendship first.
Yep.
And then we can move from there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. Definitely don't go for looks. Don't go for money, because all of those things will change.
Challenges happen.
Yes.
Everything happens. It's like, does he have me? Does he got me?
Right.
Does she got me? If things change, if I don't have money anymore, is she gonna be there for me? Is he gonna be there for me?
Yep.
If tomorrow I'm bedridden, will this person leave me alone? Would they run and leave me alone? Would I be a burden to them? You know what I'm saying? So those are little things. Besides the financial, whatever, there are other things that really matter in the relationship. So that's.
I saw a video with what's his name, Samuel. Oh God, I forgot his name.
Well, you're not talking about Samuel L. Jackson.
No, the guy who did the advice on the internet, on YouTube.
I don't know.
He was brutal to women.
Oh, the man that died.
Yes.
His name is not Samuel. I forgot.
He died.
Yeah, he died.
The guy with the metrosexual guy with the glasses.
Yeah,
he was like real mean.
He was cute, but he was cute.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, he died.
He was real mean to women sometimes.
I have no idea.
Oh God, I forgot his name. But anyway, he was talking about what you just said, and I totally lost what I was about to say. 'Cause I can't remember his name.
Talk about age.
Okay.
Well, his name is Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels. You heard of him?
Mm-mm.
You haven't? Oh,
No.
you got to look him up on YouTube, because what happens is he got his fame because people will call in
and say the kind of man they like and the expectations, what they want, women, and then he would talk down on them like, so what you're like a 2 and you're looking for a 10.
Oh,
He was brutal.
It was brutal. It was
It
brutal.
was terrible.
But he was honest. Like, he was telling people things that they really didn't want to hear. And it goes back to our podcast talking about self-worth.
okay.
He was.
He was the.
Huh?
Did we do
Yeah,
self-worth?
no, we did it.
Oh, you and I?
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
It was,
I thought.
I don't remember.
I think we did it again, right? Oh no.
Oh no, we did it on yours.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That was on. Okay. Conversations with Felonious. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to revisit that one then.
Okay.
Because this guy, it's funny in a way, because he would say, what do you expect out of your man? And well, I want him to make 6 figures, and he need to have a good job, and I want to and he was like, well, what makes you think you deserve that?
And what do you do for a living, or what do you do?
I said, well, and he was like, well, how many baby daddies you got?
Oh,
yeah, he was really, really.
So
mean.
basically, he's just saying match energy.
Yeah, but
Like,
he was.
But he just wasn't.
He was so blunt.
And he was also not just match energies. He was saying, and sometimes literally
Nasty
stay
stuff, like-
in your lane. Like-
but nasty, sometimes nasty stuff.
oh yeah,
like nasty.
it was kind of harsh. And he,
So was he being harsh just to get ratings, or was
well,
he
I'm
just
sure
really
but
that
was-
person?
that when I first came across him, and I was looking at that, and I didn't agree, but I was like, man, this guy's a dick,
right.
But I kept going back and listen to it, like, so it worked,
Right.
And,
right.
and I don't care how rude he was to women,
they
he
were
still
still
called
called
in.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
But that's his term was high value man or high value woman.
Okay.
Right. Don't try to go for a high value man if you're not a high value
value
woman.
woman.
What are you bringing to the table? So he was basically he got on men too.
Okay.
You know, but
It was mostly women. Women hated him.
but
so-
women was women called in the most,
Right,
Because a
right.
guy's not going to call in too many like another guy to say, hey man, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
You that's what your boys are for. It's like, man, you did. You ain't gonna call some just stranger. That's something that men don't do. Women to do it. you know.
Okay. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that because I feel it's two sides to that.
Yeah.
Like I kind of in my life right now where I am today, if I had to date somebody, they would have to come with everything I have.
Okay.
Like I am not. You can't be living with your mother. You can't not have a car. You have to have some place to live. That's yours. Like in my life right
You
now
have
where I am,
stability.
I need for you to have the same things that I have. And no, you're not getting a key, and you're probably not gonna live with me.
So you're not for building.
Right? No,
Anybody's-
no. You better come built. That house needs to be built because I've done the building in my life with my husband. We've done the building, so I don't want to start all over again. So I understand what he's saying with you got to come with a certain amount of things, but I also feel like I can be right here and you can be right here, and I can catch up with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to work with me, I can catch up with you, or you can catch up with me. But being this age and who I am right now, I would be horrible to date. Because you just gotta have it together, and if you don't, I'm not wasting any time.
I'm different
on that.
on that aspect because even at this age, I would date a woman with nothing. I don't, because I guess our perspective is different. Being you're the man, you're going to be the provider, you're going to be the leader, you're going to do all these things that
because he likes the term leader, king, kind of
but that's-
in charge kind of thing. So of course he doesn't mind.
But your Bible says
No, your Bible, the Bible,
no. Your Bible
whatever.
says
Oh boy.
Well, that's what he likes. So things like the king, the man, that kind of thing. So
no. But you're
that's
Head
why
of
he doesn't
household.
Really, yeah, that's why he doesn't.
so. Let me
really
ask you:
mind.
Do you agree or disagree that a man is supposed to be head of the household?
Nobody's saying.
No. This is yes no answer question.
Yeah, well, when it suits me.
Exactly, and that's the problem. That is
No, the man is the head of the household.
Okay,
But then mostly we're like partners. Yes, we are.
junior partner.
No, we're
Does he
partners.
say junior
We're
partner?
partners.
Junior partner.
Whatever. We're partners. So some things like you pay the bills, you do all this stuff.
You got 5% shares.
What?
No.
Partners is what I'm saying. So we are partners.
He's a CFO and I'm
That's
a
what-
CEO.
exactly.
How about that?
So I don't. Men, yes, they are on paper. They are
No, it's no-
the
Guys out there, listen to this.
well, they are. Okay,
Listen to this
yeah.
nonsense.
I'm African, so yes.
And
the men-
exactly, know
men-
the men are the kings of the household.
I don't know about kingship,
Yes,
but
you
I know.
know that in Africa, the men are the kings of the household, head of the household, and women is their helpmeet. They're just like that.
This
Egyptian
is not
statue.
Handmaiden's Tale. What are you
No,
talking about?
That's how it is. Seriously, that is how it
Okay.
is. Seriously,
So you started saying that you would date a
It's
woman
like that too.
with
Yeah,
nothing.
Nothing.
I would,
yes.
because-
So explain.
because we could build together.
Okay.
I am definitely not opposed to that. But what she would have to have is the foresight to say this is what the goal is and this is where we're going to go. You have to be able to compliment me. You don't have to have money and this and that. You just have to be able to say we're going to do this together and this is our mindset. This is how we're going to get it done. I trust you.
Yeah.
And
What if you get broke?
well, then we work out of it together. Or you get her sister.
How's the sister gonna help? Really?
I wish y'all could see me just shaking my head because that's all I can do.
Did you tell your viewers, Miss Popularity, that
I already took it off, so whatever you
why'd
want
she
to
take
say.
it? See,
It's
you didn't say, hey, you guys out there, make sure you check out www.
Oh,
Hot
sorry.
Topics.
I didn't want to interrupt the
Hot Topics TIOPIX podcast.com, and please subscribe. Okay, we want you guys to be subscribers. Or if you check out this podcast at any of your favorite podcast platforms, you can actually go and click on there and follow. Okay, and most importantly, listen to the podcast and give us some feedback. What you like, what you disagree with, and we would like to know your opinion so we can say, okay.
No, we're not saying that. I feel like I'm going to be a disclaimer person. I feel like I'm going to be the person at the beginning. It's just like, disclaimer, he's crazy.
Oh, and by the way, the opinions of this podcast are our own. Okay. So I have my own, and they have the opinions that I give them.
Joker.
Okay.
He always
That's
got
how
jokes.
we roll.
He always got jokes.
So we good on this. Anybody have any input? We're going to do another one just for the ladies out there. We're going to actually have a podcast coming up about how to please us. So
By us, you mean
the women? The women are going to say what
Okay.
do they like? How should
they
we
want to be pleased?
How
do you
should
wanna be
men
pleased?
please women?
Or women please women,
Or women please women?
right? So
Okay.
we're going to have
How
that.
we like to be pleased.
Yes.
Yes.
So keep subscribe. Make sure you keep us in your mind, and we're gonna have a guest speaker on that. Maybe a few guest speakers on that. I think that'll be a good show. And since we're talking about along the lines of spiciness,
Where did the spiciness come in?
because we need some exclusive content.
Oh, that's the spicy, the fancy, and the schmancy.
Yes,
Okay.
we need some exclusive
Alright.
content so we can have people pay that $4.99 and support this podcast. So we're gonna, under the exclusive podcast, we're gonna put things that we normally wouldn't talk about. Some gotta be different some sort of way. I don't even know. That's the only thing I can think of. But
Adult content.
yeah, but we still
Well, I
have
guess
some.
all of this is adult content.
Yeah, but we have to have some really, smoky stuff.
Okay.
Stuff
I hear
that
you.
you gotta pay if you want to get us fired. So, but yeah, we're gonna have that. And it was another one. It was I think it was something about sex jobs, not jobs where you have sex. It's more with sexy jobs. So whether it
Sexy job.
sexy jobs, like, all right. So what gave me the idea was I know this young lady. She's gonna actually come on the podcast, and I thought it was a genius idea. So she's a barber.
Okay.
She's a barber, and she does all the stuff. The skin. She does everything. I forgot what it's called.
She's an esthetician.
Bingo, right? But what she does is she has this thing where you pay for certain packages, so you can get the massage, the facial, the manscaping,
Okay.
right? And then you can get it, where she's in lingerie.
Okay.
So it's like a whole
that is a
change
sexy
of
job.
atmosphere. And by the looks of it, she does, well at it.
I'm sure she does.
But and there's other jobs out there that people take and they spice it up a bit because
Okay.
obviously sex sells.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have a podcast on that, and if you guys have any ideas that you want to share, please let us know, and we'll try to start with a question of the day and get into that. So, any parting words?
Thank you for listening.
Please leave a little, and by leave I mean LIVE.
Oh, yeah, come back. Don't leave.
Yeah, definitely don't leave. Like, subscribe, listen.
Yes, we're on Instagram,
He got it right.
Tumblr, YouTube,
Amazon, Spotify.
Facebook. We have a group.
Eclectic Mix Radio from Spotify.
Sorry.
Amazon. Pause. Yeah.
Next time I'll whisper.
You said one of the keywords.
I did.
It's okay. I didn't know that. You said Spotify.
I did.
Why did? Okay. So yeah, you guys look us up, and we're looking forward to engaging in some conversation. And then when we do this, we're going to try to do it with the Facebook Live, so you guys can interact while we're doing it. Because I know some people wanted to make comments while we were making the podcast, so that's why.
And we
opened
will
this up.
read your comments.
Yes. Yeah. I don't like being on camera as much, but I'll sacrifice for you guys. Or maybe we'll put Lamb Chop on the camera.
Why I gotta be on camera? Why does it
Because you
have
look
to
better
be?
than me.
This young lady over here.
No.
She doesn't look better than me. She's my child. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining in.
Ta-ta.